Right, so in this next example, we are going to be taking some different information that we have about 3 different sets on a universal set, and then we're going to be placing our items correctly into our Venn diagrams. So when we are doing this, when we were talking about creating Venn diagrams before, our idea is always to kind of start in the middle and work our way outside. So same is going to be true here. What we're going to do is we're going to start in our very center intersection. Which you're looking at the Roman numerals from the previous page was region 5. So looking at our picture, we're going to start by filling in this area first. Right? Then step 2 says determine the elements to be placed in the 3 regions where 2 circles overlap. A intersect B, A intersect C, and B intersect C. So we're going to be looking at regions 2, 4, and 6 next. Right? Then we're going to work our way outward even more. We're going to look at the elements that belong in only one set and put them in regions 1, 3, and 7. And then we're going to finish it off by putting anything left over outside in our universal set in region 8. All right, so looking at this example, right, so our universal set are the numbers 1 through 14. So each of the numbers 1 through 14 should end up in our Venn diagram in exactly one place. Right, so what we want to do is we want to look at something that is in all 3 sets. And I strongly recommend kind of going through and either crossing stuff off or underlining or something along these lines as we're looking for these and kind of filling in these different regions as we go. All right, so we need something that's in set A, B, and C. Well, 1 is in A, but it's not in B, so we can skip that. 5. We have 5 in set A. We have 5 in set B. We have 5 in set C. So that's going to go in here. And I'm just going to kind of color coordinate my steps. So we're starting, again, with region 5 in the very center for step 1. Right, then if we wanted, we could go through and we could cross off. I'm just going to put a little dot underneath to show that number 5 has been used. Then if we compare sets A, B, and C, they only have one other thing that's in common in all 3 of those sets, and that's going to be the number 9. Right, so we see that in set A, B, and C. So our center region, our first step, we put in these first 2 elements, we put in numbers 5 and 9. All right, next. Right, so as we go outwards, I'm going to change colors here. All right, so step 2 says we're going to use, again, these regions where we have 2 circles overlapping. All right, so now we want something that's in set A and B. 1, well, that won't work. 8 is not in A and B. It looks like 10 is. All right, so 10 is in set A and B. And 12 or 13 are not. So we're just going to have a number 10 in there. All right, now we're going to compare A with C. Right, so A and C, well, they both have the number 1. So we're going to put 1 in this region, and they both have the number 8. So we're also going to put an 8 in this region. If we compare B and C, 2, 4, well, 2 and 4, and over here this has a 3, that doesn't have a 3. This one has a 13, that one has an 11. So B and C don't have anything that overlap. So we're just going to leave this region 6 over here blank because we don't have anything that's in set B and C. Right, now our next step is going to be to fill in things that are just in set A, elements that are just in set B, and elements that are just in set C. So if we look at our list for A, the only thing that we haven't used yet in set A is the number 12. We look at set B. We haven't used 2, 4, or 13. And then in set C, we haven't used 3 or 11. All right, and then last but not least, we're going to fill in the outermost portion. Right? So what is in our universal set that we have not used? So I'm going to go through, and since I haven't been marking my universal set, just kind of mark everything that we've used. We've used 1, let's go kind of in some sense of order here, 2, 4, 13, 5, 9, 1, 8, 3, 11. All right, so it looks like what we have left over that we haven't put into our Venn diagram yet. We have the numbers 6, 7, and 14. So I'm going to put the numbers 6, 7, and 14 outside of my circles. Right? They are in region 8. That is outside. Right, so as we're constructing Venn diagrams, just like we did with our 2-set Venn diagrams, we start inside and work our way outside. The only difference is here we have a lot more regions, clearly, that we are dealing with instead of just less regions if we only have 2 overlapping sets.